that my nose that was whistling like that? No, you got a whistly ass nose too. Howdy, partners.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the Moote Points podcast.
No.
Why, you don't think I should do it like that the whole time?
No.
Why not?
That was awful.
What's going on, everybody? It's Brian Moote, sitting with me, my co-host Patrick Moote. This is the Moote Points podcast. Is that better? More broadcasty?
I like it when you go, what up, it's Brian Moote.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do that, but I wanted to be like a little bit more creative about it. Like,
you kind of like,
hey, partners.
Sure. Sounds like you're selling washer dryers.
Sounds like I'm telling. I'm harsh on this volume knob today too. I've cut the music out twice.
I know. You made yourself nervous with that cowboy voice.
I did. I got scared. All right, coming up on the show today, I did it again, man. This thing's got no touch on the end of that knob.
Maybe it's because you've been working out so much, Brian. You're too strong for those
We're going to get
knobs.
into that. We're going to talk about some lady workouts that's coming up in a minute. Also, I have a rant about the grocery store that I've been saying I'm going to do every week, and I haven't done it yet.
We're just dying to hear
I got
it.
another story about Between the Sheets. Some epic adventures of my escapades in Hollywood in my sheet room. I think we're also going to go Facebook Live if we have the time, which is just basically for you guys to ask us questions and see my apartment, and then I cut out all the things that I'll get in trouble for saying, and that's about it. Oh, yeah, we're also going to do a segment on commercials that Pat hates because he hates a lot of commercials.
I hate them.
So, Pat, you look sore today. Are you sore?
I'm so super sore, Brian. It's crazy.
Oh, that was awful.
What?
You came back at me like we're about to do a commercial.
I'm so sore, and you want to know why?
Pilates. Ouch.
No, it wasn't even that. It was, what was it? Sculpt House.
Which is a mix of Pilates and free running on a curved treadmill.
God damn.
So, ladies, we have to give it up to all of you guys. And I may talk about this on the Burt Show, the radio show
Chicks
that I co-host.
Are warriors, man.
Patrick and I have been kind of on a ClassPass mission. And if you don't know what ClassPass is, it's pretty cool. I really enjoy it because I am finding that I don't have the attention span anymore to just do the same thing over and over again. I used to. I mean, when I was running for training for a marathon, I felt like I could pull this off where I would just lock in every day and be like 6 miles, 7 miles. But then again, you're
boring.
You're changing the increments.
But
you're changing the increments. Also, you see your body changing, and that's all addictive in its own right.
It's like going through puberty all over again.
You are not adding much right now.
Yeah, I am.
No.
It's hard in comedy, man.
You're such an idiot. I forgot what I was saying. ClassPass. See, that's your problem. You just knocked me out of a nice little. I was introducing ClassPass as a thing and why we're doing those classes. So ClassPass, you get it on your phone. It's like $50 a month, and you get to go to 5 different classes. But the classes are all way more expensive than $10. They're all in the 20s because that's the one problem with gyms nowadays. I mean, good lord.
Woo!
I love Flywheel.
Flywheel is crazy. It's like
insane.
A car payment.
It's insanely expensive.
It's ridiculous.
It's like $250 a month or something like that.
I think it's like $300.
Well, for
because
certain
it's
packages,
for 5 of them, for 5 classes, it's $135.
I mean, that's impressive.
That's with a $10 discount.
Is it? Did you look it up? I think I have a package on there. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. So, anyways,
I missed a Flywheel class yesterday, and I might as well have just burned $100.
But it was on ClassPass, so it wasn't the same. So you don't feel as bad if you miss a ClassPass class because they're cheaper.
No, I don't. I feel fat. That's what I feel.
Well, yeah, but you kind of are fat. I'm kidding.
Whoa!
We'll get into that.
My God.
I'm kidding, but you leave me nowhere to go with that.
Emotional haymakers.
You leave me nowhere to go with that. You're like, because I feel fat. What do you want me to say? Oh, Pat, you're not fat. Like, I'm more overweight than you are.
Thank you, brother.
You're an idiot.
Yes, you are.
Well, now look at you. You can't affirm it. That's not how comedy works.
Oh.
You got to make a joke about it. You can't be like, yeah, you are. Boom, boom. Tsh, let's move on. So anyways, we've been bouncing around looking at different classes. We did a kettlebell class on Saturday, which left me devastated for 2 days. And it was just like all these, swinging kettlebells and doing all these crazy things and cycles. And we were the only dudes in the class for the most part. I think there's maybe 2 other guys in the kettlebell one. And they commented like, wow, there's like never any dudes here. Then we did a Sculpt House class. And Flywheel, by the way, is always 85 to 90% women. Spin classes.
We can throw Pilates in there, too, because we did Club Pilates.
Pilates in Buckhead.
Yeah.
And that is fun, too. Pilates is way different. You find out you have muscles you didn't even know existed in your body, like the insides of your legs and things like that. And, again, only guys that were there. And then we went to Sculpt House, also in Buckhead.
Woo!
And that was gnarly.
Fire.
And there was a ton of good-looking girls there.
Oh, my God.
And
it was mind-boggling.
So, dudes, first of all, And I'm not saying this because I
Brian,
want you.
I don't want to go to those classes. Those classes are gay.
Right, super gay, a bunch of hot girls. That's like
Yeah,
the gayest
what are
thing I've
you
ever seen in my
talking
life. So the thing is like,
Ridiculous.
I don't want to put this out there in the world and then have a bunch of creeps show up at Sculpt House and be like, yeah, look at these girls in their
go with your
yoga
A
pants.
game.
Or
And-
just go to work out, and then the thing
Yeah,
is you'll meet because everybody there is a community. So if you go at 12:15 every Tuesday, you're gonna see the same people there. And you wave, oh, hey, how you doing? How you doing? And then maybe something happens. But the point is that, one, you get an insane workout. I don't know I don't think ladies are getting the respect they deserve for all the new fitness genres and classes that they're doing, because these things, we were doing crazy lifts on all our legs, blowing out our legs like crazy. And then we get on this treadmill and start sprinting. And that was 25 on each, and it was
Warrior
nuts.
babes.
It was
Just
nuts.
Absolute warriors. I don't even know. I mean, my legs hurt so bad today, and we work out a fair amount, lifting weights and pushing our bodies. I don't, even when I'm trying doing the dumb things that we do, man workouts where we're lifting all the weights. Look at
Just bench heavy, bro. Get some pies.
spot me. I can't make myself as sore as I've been after the last couple classes we've done.
Yeah. It's actually kind of tough to get into because you kind of you burn yourself up, and then you spend 3 days drinking, and you're like, I gotta get back into it.
I show up at every single class completely intimidated.
It is intimidating.
It is.
Well, one, everybody in there already knows what they're doing, and you feel like an idiot because you don't know how to do this. Like, what was that sliding platform machine where we're doing lunges
Reformer or something?
Reformer?
Or no, that was the other one. It was
but that's a
Mecha
Pilates.
Reformer.
I mean, those
like,
things were designed by medieval
It was like
torture
the
dungeons.
Enforcer or something.
Those things were designed in torture chambers.
Yeah, sure.
For spreading. You know the thing that they did where they like tie your all your limbs to different ropes or something, and they just start spreading you, and then like slide. That's exactly what the
Thinking of
Pilates
Game
machine
of
is.
Thrones.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't
sure.
matter. It's the same reference for the joke.
Okay, I see how jokes work.
See, you got it?
I get how
You're
jokes
supposed to like
work
go
now. I
yes
didn't
and
understand
it.
before.
You didn't get it. Okay,
No.
don't worry.
Okay.
I'll slow it down a little bit. The point is that I think that you ladies need a pat on the back for how hard you're pushing yourself, and for all of you out there that are doing those classes at Sculpt House and things, mad props. And we're not trying to put it out there so a bunch of creeps show up, but listen, fellas, you're going to get in insanely good shape.
It's a great workout.
It's an amazing workout. You can't work yourself out as hard as you do with those
50
classes.
minutes?
Like
Like,
you
no
can
way.
go to LA Fitness if you want to and be like, oh, I'm gonna walk around and do some bicep curls and ladies are creeped out by you there too. So I guess no matter what you do, guys are always gonna be creepy at the gym because we have wandering eyeballs.
It makes it harder to quit though too, because it's like I'm surrounded by people that I feel like I could be a potential suitor for. I want them to know that my work ethic is top notch.
I will say one thing though, man. Having a class with predominantly cute girls in it can be dangerous. Because I was on that little, it's a curved treadmill that uses
was
only your
wacky.
own weight, yeah, and it's like running in kind of an arc, and we were doing sprints, and because the girls were like
like a hamster
facing
wheel.
us, the girls were like facing us. I was like, she goes, level 4, do it, and I'm like, boom, just start grinding that thing. I was sprinting so hard, I thought at one point in time, I was gonna go off the back of it. Which would be really hard because it's arced. So I don't even know if that's possible to go off the back of it, but you feel like it might happen.
You feel like you're gonna fall right on your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the bottom part of a hamster wheel. Like you're running in a circle at your own speed. But I almost fell forward on it a couple times.
I think you think you're going to fall forward, but I don't think in reality, I think when you start to go forward, it stops down pretty quick.
It does.
It slows down. So
There was a mirror in front of us, and I realized I have like Prefontaine style running form. It's ridiculously perfect.
what are you talking about?
I should be in a movie about a runner because my form is perfect.
You think your form's perfect?
It's perfect.
Mine's
My head
not.
doesn't move at all. My
I'm
hips
too-
are just like.
Here's the thing: you do have a good body composition for a TV runner.
Yeah, I know.
Because you
That's what I'm saying.
you're wiry and you're skinny, and you have like good proportions. Like I'm far too big. I'm 6'4". I'm 225, 230 pounds.
You would look hilarious in little running shorts.
And I just am too big. I'm too big. I'm like a big person. I'm a lot of human being. Even when I'm my thinnest at 195 between 195 and 200, like 3 years ago, I was still too big to be an on-screen TV running person.
Yeah, sure. The shorts would be tiny on you. They'd look like underpants.
Well, you pretty much. I mean, they did. It's not like the running shorts. It has nothing to do with the running shorts. It's
Yeah,
my,
it does.
No,
They
no,
only
it's just
make
my
them in
limbs.
size medium.
It's just my
And then
limb.
it
I'm just too
stops.
big. It just. First of all, you couldn't put me in a running scene because I'd tower over every stupid tiny actor in the business. So I'd just be like this awkwardly clunky idiot, just running around.
If you're insinuating that I could do this because I'm small, I beg to differ.
It's exactly what
I
I'm
have an
insinuating.
incredible bench press.
That's exactly what I'm insinuating.
Just because I do Sculpt House doesn't mean I'm not huge, Brian.
No, it does. It does mean you're not huge. You're not huge. You're wiry. But that's good. You got wiry, good composition.
I've always been wiry.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk about Patty's commercials that he hates.
Yeah.
But keep on listening because we got Between the Sheets coming up and Facebook Live and my epic grocery store rants. Patrick, why do you hate commercials so much?
I hate commercials so much because I've been doing commercials forever. So I've acted in commercials for over 10 years. And the whole process is so stupid. Like, they act like everything is the most important thing in the world. And really, like, if you just took your budget that you spend on advertising and put it back into making things cheaper, you'd sell way more of them, I guarantee it. Like, just have a commercial that's like a good-looking piece of food spinning around on a black screen with a low price blinking next to it. Be like, steak.
Okay, well, you're kind
$9.
One, you're kind of arguing against your own career field because
I
you've
don't care.
been
It's
very
stupid.
successful in commercial acting. You have a Firestone commercial running right now that I'll get text messages or emails.
Some
like,
dude broke a vertebrae to sell those tires in that commercial.
Really?
Yeah, the
Well,
dude who
good for
jumps the
him.
truck broke a vertebrae.
Good for him. Like, he probably got paid.
He was like,
insurance.
I get pills and I get 6 months off. I was
Yeah,
like,
and he
all
gets a
right,
ton.
that's-
He probably gets a big settlement and everything too. But
they're
and also
just
you have
dumb.
another rant about commercials that I think you need to get out there. You need to get your
Sure.
hot fire out there, and
Yes.
it's about
building
famous
a wall.
people.
Yeah, building
famous
a wall around Beverly Hills.
Yeah, okay. It's about famous people. See, your introduction.
stealing
to
my job!
Okay, settle down, Trump. It's about
Dang it.
you have a problem with famous people doing commercials. Now, can you let everybody know
They're
why
already
that is?
rich. Like, and it used to be that doing too many commercials was a kiss of death. Like, if you were a celebrity and you did a commercial, that's how everybody knows your career is over. Now they're all doing it, where it's like famous people who have shows on television are playing secondary characters in a commercial with Tina Fey. It's grow up. You're already rich. That'd be like me going to like a playhouse and snatching the script out of some kid's hand in their high school play and being like, my job now because I can't get any work
So
doing
you
what
think
I
you
used
think
to
that
do.
it's people at the top of the food chain keep coming down and eating food that
Yeah.
should be saved for those that are lower on the food chain, and you're mad about it.
I'm hot.
But how
Brian.
fast will your opinion change when you get to that point and you start snatching money out of people's hands?
I would never do that.
I would. I'm not even kidding you. If
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in a second. If I was a famous person, even if it was a commercial you were up for, I'd
I
take
just
it.
saw a Rob Lowe in a Skechers commercial that was embarrassing. See, that's the other part of it. If you're going to do one and it's really, really good, like Mayhem, the dude who does Mayhem. I can't remember what his name is right now, but you know the guy who does
Yeah.
Mayhem, he's the Allstate commercials.
Right. They're funny. He
They're
plays a good
hilarious,
character.
and he does a really good
But
job.
he had
no
to,
problem
I think you
with
needed
that.
a famous guy to
Rob
play that
Lowe
character.
in a Skechers commercial about him, how it's easier for him to sign autographs and when his feet are comfortable is ridiculous.
Wow.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Rob Lowe.
So
And I
occasion-
like Rob Lowe.
So occasionally, to let Patrick get this like vitriol out of his system, we're going to do a segment where we play an awful commercial, and he can
See,
talk about how much he hates it.
this
So do you
is-
want to introduce this commercial, or do you want to just play it?
We'll let it go.
first?
What I will say is that this is the culmination of marketing people, advertising people, production company people, writers, actors, directors. All these people came together to sell a product with this.
All right. Should play momentarily. Here we go.
Hi, babe.
Hey, babe.
Woman entered a house.
Senacoot.
Oh, what's
Hey,
this?
what's this?
Senecot. It's a laxative. I get constipated sometimes.
Oh, do you?
Really?
Yeah, I like Senecot. It uses a natural vegetable laxative ingredient. That matters to me. And it usually works overnight.
Oh, terrific.
So you can wake up regular in the morning.
Senecot.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
ingredients
so
matter.
what's also great about this, if you guys are listening to this, like what we should do is go through it right now and do
Okay.
a play-by-play of what is being shown on the screen.
Okay, well, hold on.
Because
All
a
right.
lot of the goodness
We'll
comes
start
from
it out right now. Okay,
Yes.
and just tell me.
This is a couple in their early 50s.
yeah, late 40s, early 50s.
Sure.
Guy looks early 50s. Woman looks early 40s.
She comes in from the
she
store.
clearly looks like he's on his second marriage. She's on her first.
Yep.
And they're trying to make it. It's definitely got a Cialis vibe to it, where they always show the older guy and they're like, having
hey.
trouble getting it up, buddy
Hey.
boy.
Hey, babe.
Want to knock it out of the frame like you did when you were a
Always
lad?
with this stupid, goofy grin on his face. Like
Let's
he
go
has no
ride
idea
jet
what's
skis
going on.
with boners. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hit start on it.
So she comes
Hi,
to the
babe.
house.
Hey, babe.
Okay. So stop here.
She just walked into the house.
She walked into the house, set down a bag of groceries and her purse. Husband now walks over to said purse and looks in and finds what? Senecot.
Senecoot.
Oh, nope,
Hey,
wrong.
what's this?
Senecot. It's a laxative.
He looked in her purse. Like, he goes over and looks in her. Oh, hey, what's this? And it says on it what it is.
No,
it's
no,
a natural vegetable
it's-
laxative.
I think what's even more silly about it, I think that
The husband looks at that and then
I
walks
think
out of
we-
there and
I
like,
think that's
gross,
kinda-
gross. My wife is gross.
I think that's kind of, I mean, so what? He looks in her purse. All right, I get it. So what? He doesn't know what it is. I love the fact that they wrote into the script he pronounces it wrong,
Yeah.
and she corrects him. She's like, Senecoat.
I'm just a dumb guy.
Oh,
Seneca.
what is Senecot? I'm a
Seneca.
big idiot.
Go, go,
No.
go, go, go.
If it wasn't for you in my life, I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
I'm goofy.
I'm just a dumb suburban husband.
No, dummy. It's Senecoat. It's a
Yeah.
natural laxative.
brilliant writing.
Duh. All right, here we go.
Congratulations, writing team.
Here we go.
You
And we're only
nailed that.
10 seconds in, and Patrick is already annoyed.
Fiery.
Senecot. It's a laxative. I get constipated sometimes.
Okay, look at his reaction to all of this.
He's just standing there,
He's just
frozen
standing
in
there
like
staring.
a
He's
deer in headlights,
staring
frozen,
straight
which is
ahead.
exactly how you should stand when your wife is like, "Wow, sometimes I get constipated."
When you're like,
"Yeah, I
"Oh,
know that,
babe,
dummy, because I hear you complaining about
Yeah.
it on every trip we ever
And
go on."
Whenever if anyone in a relationship and you're that close, you're married, you've been together for a long time, you're not, if you're constipated and enough to actually have something, you're like irritated and you're not like, oh, hey, silly, you pronounced it wrong. You're like, would you get out of my purse?
Sometimes I
Look
get
at my
constipated.
stuff.
You're right.
You're
I
like-
didn't think about that. If your husband picks up your constipation medications, like, babe, what's this?
You're-
You're like, get out of my goddamn purse!
Yeah, right.
Snap
There's
on
zero
it.
reality in this. Oh, babe, it's just a little something that I would never admit to you, even
Right.
after 20 years of marriage.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah, I'm just having trouble pooping, babe. Well, let's fire up that sex life.
Yeah, I like Senecot. It uses a natural vegetable laxative ingredient. That matters to me.
Why? Oh, because it's natural? Is
Yeah.
it? They're trying to play off that whole like clean eating. It's organic. Oh yeah, I want free range laxatives. I want laxatives that were cage free, that don't do that have no GMOs or whatever those things are.
That line should have been delivered as so. Yeah, that matters to me. Like, there's no, that matters to me.
It matters to me
Yeah,
that
I
it's all
know.
natural.
We've been married for like 20 years. You say that to me every day.
Yeah, you
What
seem like
matters
the
to
kind of
me?
annoying
I get
lady
it.
who's like, I want cage-free eggs, when
Because
you don't even
that
know if that's
matters
true.
to me.
That matters, David. And don't look at my purse. 'Cause
dummy.
sometimes I can't poop, and that's not my fault.
I mean, and
And it usually works overnight.
somebody is not having sex tonight. That's all I can, like, what?
His face looks like, oh no.
His face is expressionless.
Oh, no.
He's just staring there like, he kind of looks at her and then like looks at a window and kind of like shakes his head like, okay, yeah, you're gonna poop tomorrow. That's really information that I needed. Thank you, wife.
Let's see how they close it out. Dumb guy.
Senecot, because ingredients matter.
Sure.
Because that matters.
Don't put any, I mean.
I'm telling you. Okay, so what are the odds that someone is sitting there, a couple perhaps, watching television? This Senecot commercial comes on and plays, and all of a sudden they're like rushing out to the store. Like, how does that commercial set that apart from anything else that makes you more regular?
Yeah,
Like,
it's,
how?
It's ridiculous. Well, one, it's just ridiculous that they're having this open conversation. He's like, I didn't even know constipation was a problem.
Oh, babe, you're going to poop tomorrow. That's great. I'll throw it on the iCal and we can work around the rest of our schedule. We're going to go to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Okay, on one hand, though, we're going to play my commercial now, my USA Network commercial. Because I do think sometimes the stuff that you do say on a commercial are just completely asinine. And they just make no sense. And tell me if you can find the line in this commercial that in which I'm like, this is completely asinine. So this commercial is from 6 years ago.
I left yoga class feeling way too powerful.
My name is Brian Moote, and I'm a comedian.
And yoga is not karate at all.
I'm always on the go from one show to the other.
Some guy tries to take my wallet from me. I'm like, you asked for it.
So I need to be able to access car insurance on my phone. The General's great for me because it's an easy way for me to save money.
Yeah, your move, cowboy. Take your best shot.
I'm a character, and this is my story.
So in that commercial, I'm basically driving around town doing the same joke about yoga in all these different settings. Like I'm doing it at a comedy club, in a bookstore, and then a cafe. Because they on one thing, the producers were like, we know how comedy is. You do the same joke in a bunch of different venues, and they're not always comedy clubs. Now, the second thing I'd like to point out is I'm the first person in history to do a commercial for the General Auto Insurance where I didn't have to talk to a robot general who's like, the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now.
Cartoon. He's a cartoon, Brian.
Yes. What
Show
did I
a
say?
little goddamn respect.
What did I say about him? What did I say?
You
babe?
said robot.
Robot General?
Yeah,
Okay, Cartoon
Robot
General.
Cartoon.
But I say a line in there that's just so ridiculous. I need to be able to access my car insurance on my phone. They were trying to pitch the app right there. Like, no one has in the history of the world has ever been like, oh my God, thank God I can access my car insurance on my phone. Unless they're in a car accident, in which case they probably have their car insurance in their glove box, which is super convenient as well. So I think that on one hand, it's just a stupid commercial, and people like the advertisers need to get in the lines they need to get in, and the production company, the director, at some point in time, has got to be like, this makes no sense. All natural laxatives, because ingredients matter to me, because that was their slogan, and they had to work it in.
Yeah, they did, and they worked it in a really seamless slice of life about a man and a woman just trying to make it after their kids have left for college.
Oh, after they're on their
pooping.
second marriage, though, Pat. Don't you forget that.
Sorry.
That guy had second marriage look all over his face.
She had a kid and was never married before, and then he had a kid, and then they got married, and so they had raised some stepkids together. They had that kind of openness. Oh yeah, sure. Completely different parenting styles.
Totally
but I mean, they're great kids. They're great kids.
You can totally assess the entire relationship in just one interaction.
I just have this urge to download the Geico app or General. Damn it.
I mean, it works. The whole advertising works.
Oh yeah, that's right. I want Pepsi because I just want to keep fueling that fire. I want them to keep making money so they can keep making great commercials.
I wish I would have played some Rage Against the Machine right now. We could have talked about Pepsi and their shenanigans.
So
do you want to talk about Pepsi? What's your opinion on that whole Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial?
I mean,
besides the fact that it
think
makes no sense.
Here's my opinion on it: is that like maybe it's a little more offensive, but for people to act like now that they're finally realizing that commercials are dumb is a stupid premise. Like what? Like. Commercials do dumb things all the time. Like, people are, like, solving their problems with dumb products constantly. There's tons of offensive stuff.
I just access car insurance on my phone. Yeah. And it's super convenient for me.
Yeah, we know. You didn't have to talk to a robot.
Cartoon General. It was amazing.
I think if you broke down a lot of commercials, there'd be, like, you could find, they're all pretty offensive, just in their stupidity. Where it's like, I mean, I did a bunch of commercials where I did a commercial where I picked up a girl at a McDonald's with a 20-piece chicken nugget.
But that's more realistic,
and this girl is hot. How is that realistic? Some
she wouldn't be hot.
Kid is going to go sit there at a McDonald's with a 20-piece? No girls. You're never going to see one. And then what?
Maybe.
Little Carl's going to go home and load up his firearms, and who knows what he's going to do with them.
Whoa, Pat, you just got dark.
Thank you. I know.
You got dark. You didn't really see.
I picked up. We had a pizza party once, and all these girls came over because I had the Big Dipper pizza. They were models. After every take,
you've done a lot of
themselves.
completely ridiculous food commercials. The Hot Pockets one, where isn't it like
okay? And in that one, I had a beard that was like a year and a half. I've been growing this beard. It was huge, and they made me shave it off for a Hot Pocket commercial. That's their demographic.
I mean, that's the
biggest problem with Hot Pockets is that if you bite it when it's too hot, it strings out and it gets in your beard. The only people who eat Hot Pockets have beards. They're big, nerdy losers who play video games.
I don't know if that's true.
That's what the beard is for, is to protect your chin from the hot cheese.
It's to keep your face
it's a
safe
buffer zone.
From melted cheese?
Yes.
Well, good.
Ridiculous.
I'm glad you have opinions.
Ridiculous.
Commercials.
That Pepsi commercial is really offensive, though.
I don't know if I thought it was I thought it was just stupid.
I mean, that's the thing, is it wasn't really offensive. It was dumb. It was like laughably dumb.
It was laughably dumb. Yeah. But it got everyone talking about him. I mean, I guess everyone's going to forget about it. That's the thing we all talk about. We're going to boycott United Airlines. We're going to boycott, this and that. But we're going to forget in 5 minutes, and the next stupid thing's going to come out, and everyone's going to be like, hey, look over here, jazz hands. Look. Jazz hands, look over here. Remember, don't worry about all that stuff. All right, coming up in a minute, we've got Between the Sheets. I'll tell another story about my escapades in Hollywood in my sheet room. But right now, Patrick, we were at the grocery store today because we're trying to, and I can't stand even saying this. This saying drives me absolutely crazy. Eat clean. I hate that. I hate the phrase eat clean almost as much as I hate it when someone says engage your core. Like a trainer's like, engage your core. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what engage my core is. I'm just trying to survive this workout session. I just can't stand it when people say eat clean. Like, oh, I eat clean. And you know why? Because of their pretentious attitudes.
You know what, Brian? These things matter to me. Senecoot.
You're an idiot. No, I'm not talking about.
Ingredients
I'm just
matter.
talking about the smarmy
First
attitude
all,
of
I
when
don't
people say they
think- I don't
eat
think-
clean.
I don't think eat cleaning is a phrase that people use.
Eats clean, not cleaning.
Eat clean.
Eat clean. People say
Yes.
that all the time.
No, I don't know. I've
You've never heard that?
No.
Then you don't hang out with enough
Like
people who are in
being
fitness.
Like, I'm vegan or I'm.
No, they say I eat clean. Clean
eat
eating,
clean?
eat clean. And it's all about eating stuff that has like no preservatives in it. No, like, it's like all free range chicken. It's like, and people put on Instagram like, I eat clean. Look at this. And it's like sweet potatoes baked with salmon. And they're like, look at this. Everybody liked my photo. I cooked salmon and sweet potatoes. Also, I don't care how you eat. Eat how you eat. Keep it to yourself.
Eat food.
Eat to survive,
Who
dummies.
cares?
You don't need to tell everybody about your meal.
I know. If
But
you
your
want to do that,
cucumber
just
salad.
have a podcast, and then we can talk.
Right, and then
about
you can rant about it. We went to the grocery store today and I'm not eating clean. I don't really care. I'm just trying to trim down.
Cleaner. I am roasting a big thing of vegetables. At the
Well, yeah,
moment.
that's just eating healthy.
Well, I eat
eating
clean.
healthier. It's adding vegetables to your life so you can be more regular. So you don't get constipated like the poor lady.
Yeah,
So you
sure.
have a lot of all different ingredients in your body. Now, so we go to the grocery store, and I got some things for grocery stores. One, can't we just all put everything in the same place? Every grocery store. I'm not even talking about different. Like, listen, if you're a Kroger's versus a Publix versus a Safeway, then whatever, do what you want. But man, if you are a Publix, can't you just lay the store out the same friggin' way as every other Publix? Why do I got to spend 45 minutes trying to map out everything? And they're like I'm on a treasure hunt,
They do it
looking
on-
for the right aisle to find sriracha.
They do it on purpose. They move it around so that you get lost, so that you look at more stuff. That's
So you're
like
just
part of their
milling around?
That's part of their genius marketing plan. Is like they want
That
you
is
to get lost.
That is just dirty. I don't have
It
time for
could
your
be easier.
marketing tricks.
Oh no. That's exactly what they want. They'll move the freezers, man. They don't even care.
Oh, just I mean,
They're dirty.
I've never noticed the store moving
play
things
like
around
Putin.
in the store, but I have noticed that not one grocery store is the same. Now, you know what? Target has it nailed. Every single Target is exactly the same. You walk in, you walk right by all those little 99s. Watch, I'm going to take you through a Target walk right now, and it's every Target you've ever been to. Walk through the front. There's a coffee shop that also sells, it could be a Starbucks, could be any kind of coffee shop.
Wetzel's
that
Pretzels.
that also sells a bunch of like awful food for you and snacks and pizzas and things. And sometimes it's a generic place, sometimes it's a name brand. You walk by that's on your left. You walk by that. Then you start to walk by the sunglasses and like purses and stuff. And on your right, you have women's clothes. You keep walking. Then you hit the shoes.
Boom, on the left.
Shoes on the left, right there.
Yep.
You go down. You come to the wall. That's the men's department.
Yes, it is.
That's
In the
the men's
corner, they have
department.
socks
in
and
the
underwear
corner.
and
And the
shirts.
women's is a little bit back farther. And then they keep the bras off to the side in the left over near
Well,
the shoes,
that's
so we
just-
don't get caught milling around in there.
They're classy establishment.
You take a left and you start walking down the back aisle of the store. Now you're walking on the back wall of the store.
CDs.
Bam, right next, isn't
Yep.
it? And then on your left, what do you have? Fitness stuff, home improvement.
Yep.
Now, if you were in the center aisle, what do you have?
Home decor.
Towels and
Yep.
sheets and home decor and furniture. And you walk all the way down. What do you have on the far right when you get down to the end?
Auto and home
Auto
goods.
and cleaning supplies.
Yep.
And all sorts of, and then sometimes they'll have like a mishmash of backpacks right there. You can find headphones and weird things. They'll have a row of razor scooters. Then you take a left. What's on your right now when you take a left coming back down the store?
Oh, juices and snacks. and
Juices,
things
coffee,
like that.
food.
Yes, sir.
On your left, you now have, when you get down to the end, and now you're in like the freezer produce section, what's on your left now? Oh, pots and pans and
Yep.
and all sort of, and then glasses for your house. Straight ahead, if you keep going straight ahead and you don't take that left to go back to the cash registers, what do you have there?
I usually like some paper products back there.
Paper
Toilet
towels.
paper,
There we
paper
go.
Towels.
Home cleaning supplies.
Yeah,
Then you start walking down that aisle. On your right, oh, Vitamin City.
That's
on
right.
your left,
First aid.
on your left, things that you'll never buy for your house, like George Foreman grills and
Whoa, easy.
Cuisinarts.
Crock-pots. I got my
and stuff.
crock-pot from
Yeah,
there.
crock pots, things
Yeah,
that I
that's
don't
right.
buy. Maybe you do. Then you hit the school supplies section, and then you hit the cards, and then on your right there you have vitamins and hair care products and fancy
Makeup
lotions
for
and
the
makeups,
ladies.
and then boom, registers. Why do I have to get lost in a Publix, man?
That's a good point.
Just trying to find some hummus. That's
You
all
know,
I'm trying to find.
I think they overestimate their ability to trick us too. It's like I'm gonna find it. I'm just gonna go up to the first person wearing a green apron and be like, "Hey, Frank, where's the sriracha?"
And he's gonna go.
Why'd
I don't
you move it?
He's gonna go. I don't know, man. I did my first day at this Publix. I used to work at a different Publix, and I knew where the sriracha was, and that felt nice. And then today we're walking around, and they're like, "Oh, we moved the sriracha. We moved one type of sriracha to the international aisle, but then you can buy the Pete's sriracha, which is a complete knockoff. No one gets that Pete's sriracha. That's
disgusting.
laughable, Pete. What are you even doing?
I know.
You got to get the chicken sriracha. Is that what it's called? Don't even know what it's called, but it's the sriracha with the chicken on it. Everybody knows it.
Sriracha.
Hey, I don't know. When was the last time you went to any sort of Asian food restaurant and they had Pete's sriracha? They don't have Pete's sriracha. That's like if you went to a Mexican restaurant and they're like, and you went and they're like, this stuff's made in New York City. What kind of salsa was that?
Pace.
Damn. Pace, picante
Thick and
sauce.
chunky.
Get out of here. No
That's
one.
right.
No, they make their own salsa. So keep, and then you're gonna put pace picante in the regular section, but you're gonna put like the stuff made by a Mexican company in international. I just don't know what you're about, Publix. You have no consistency.
Brian's fired up.
I'm pretty fired up. That's a pretty mundane thing to be pissed off about, though. It is pretty impressive that you can walk through a Target in your mind and not have it
I knew
get weird.
exactly what everything was.
Yeah, and you visualize it and you're like,
Yeah.
yes, that's my target. I know that target.
Yeah.
My second rant has to do, well, one, I think someone can rant about me on this one. I'm a violator of this. If you break 20 or 30 items, get out of the self-check.
Oh God, you're the worst.
I am the worst. I stack it like I stack all the stuff
At that
the
point,
self-check.
I don't even want to do the work. Like
Like
I'm
Jenga.
not. There's
I stack
people
it
who
like
are being
Jenga.
paid there. You have to wait in the same amount of line, and there's people being paid there to both check it and bag it. And now you're doing it yourself for free?
I kind of feel like I'm better at it than them.
No.
Wait, have you
I
seen-
disagree.
you've watched me do it.
100%. Yes. It's like a house of cards stacked up there with eggs on top of like a thing. Of
It
orange
does
juice
get
and,
does
like-
get a bit tricky when I'm because you have to stack everything on the weigh scale because that's how they know you're not.
And you
stealing
can't like put
things.
your hand on it to hold it down because it's a weigh scale. So you have to like lean it all into your body so it's like not fall. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's no.
Self-check.
And I
mean,
balance
and then
it.
I feel like I have a crappy job. Like I'm a bag checker.
Why are you trying to say that their jobs are crappy? You got no respect for the bag checker?
I mean, it's
The
not that I don't
grocery
have
bagger?
respect.
I do
but
think
yeah,
it's
that's a terrible job.
I think it's disrespectful though on the premise of it to just go ahead and start eliminating people, like letting you do people's jobs in front of them on like a robot machine, kind of like self thing. Like imagine any job that you do, right? Any job you've ever had in your life.
If you like had a podcast co-host that was just like
Or what if
Siri.
or how about this? No, we have a podcast right now. We're on the show, okay? What if there was another microphone and at any point in time someone just walks up and then they just start hosting the show? And like, hey, look at me, I'm pretty good at this. And then they just walk off and then we're like, well, I guess we had that guest for a while who
And that person would have
I
to
know.
die. They would have to die.
That's a bit extreme.
I can't stand for this kind of aggression, man.
Did you just quote the Big Lebowski?
I did.
Oh, good for you. Here's my last rant about the grocery stores, and then we'll move on to stories in between the sheets and Facebook Live when we get to it. But
I didn't know
actually,
you
we're on
had
a roll right
3
now.
rants about the grocery store.
Yeah, well, that one just came to me. That wasn't one of my planned rants. That was just I realized today at the grocery store that
I like
I am
how
a complete a-hole when it comes to like
you
stacking
get-
too many things on the.
You get so frustrated by things that you're frustrated about things that you do. Like you do.
I'm
more-
frustrated on behalf of society that I do this, and I
About
gotta stop doing
yourself.
it. I gotta stop doing it.
You
Here's
do.
my other thing, and it
We
goes.
got in the self-check line today, and I was like, "Good luck, buddy."
Yeah, man.
gonna stand
I
in
was
here.
like sticking things in, wedging them in like
Stupid.
creases and stuff just to make sure I get them on the.
I almost
on the
left
waist.
a bag too. When you left, there was one bag tucked way up in the bag.
I've done
and I
that
was like,
before.
I almost forgot
I've
a
left
whole
things.
bag.
I've left things at the
See,
the
that doesn't
self-check.
happen if you let these people do their jobs.
You're right, they're professionals.
They
Okay,
are.
so the other thing I hate, and this is for real, is don't go in the express line with more than 10 items. If you, like way more than 10 items, I don't care if you got like 15, you know. But I mean, I've gotten in the self-check line, or not self-check, but the express line, behind someone who literally had like 60 things, like an entire cart full of stuff, and then they sit there acting like, oh, I had no idea. I had no idea. I can't. What do you can't ballpark it? You've been here for an hour looking for the sriracha because you couldn't find the sriracha, and so you know you have way too much stuff.
See, that deserves a United Airlines style drag that person out of the store by their feet. Like that's not
Right.
Like that is a huge, gross misuse of what, like, you know, handling of a situation.
Really strong.
Thank
Pat,
you.
that really strong.
People
point
know
right there.
more than
really,
15 items. You know
Yeah.
that. That's
No, you do
like-
for sure.
Yeah,
You can
It's like
ballpark
cutting
it
in
and
line.
tell. Mm-hmm.
That's like walking up and just walking and like cutting in front of someone. Hey. Like at that point, if I was the checker, I'd be draw a hard line. It'd be my red line. I'd be like,
I agree.
No, I'm sorry.
I agree.
Get to
All
the
right.
back of the line of the other line.
We're going to talk about Between the Sheets here, one of my escapade stories, and we might go to Facebook Live, but I don't know if I have the heart for it today. Well, we should. We said we're going to. Okay.
Yeah, all the people who listen to this are going to be so upset.
Well, just is like a fun thing to answer. You know what? You're right. We're not going to do it today. We'll do it next. You know what? Tweet at me at Moote Points if you missed the Facebook Live segment. I just don't know if I have it in me, and we've been doing this for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I just don't know if I feel it today. And I don't feel like editing anything. Mm-hmm. I'm just letting you guys know the thought process right now. You got nothing?
Sheer laziness.
You got nothing there?
No,
Nothing?
I actually just turned around and started watching TV.
Why?
I want to see if Trump was still on.
No, he's not. His press conference is over. He's just basically he didn't address anything except the fact that NATO and him are like high-fiving, but he didn't say anything about Russia. He said nothing about Spicer and his dumb comments about the Holocaust. What a
His
moron.
first name should be Fun.
Fun Spicer?
Fun Spicer.
Fun Spice.
Because he's so fun to watch. He's hilarious. He's joking, you guys. He's kidding.
So if you're new to the podcast, which you all have to be because this is like our second or third episode. So I lived in Hollywood in a sheet room, a real sheet room, 100% lived between sheets. And it was in the living room of the apartment I lived in. It was a 2-bedroom. We converted it to a 3 by hanging sheets in a very sophisticated manner, where like the front sheet had a slit in it, like a door, and I could burst through it like a Roman battlefield soldier coming out of a tent. That's how I used to think about it in the morning.
They were load-bearing walls.
Yes, sure. You know, they're load-bearing tacks on the ceiling. But it was always remarkable that the fact that didn't deter any of the girls that I ever dated in LA. That like I had a sheet room, like they didn't mind. I mean, I'm sure they minded.
They were in love with it, the idea.
No, they weren't in love with
Everyone
the idea.
can hear everything when we're in here. This is great.
So I always used to have a bad habit of just like this has happened to me a few times. I'll be talking to a girl that I've been seeing late night after a few drinks, and I'll just fall asleep in the middle of texting of whatever, and then
say something else.
No. I mean, that's happened too. That's happened to everybody. Everybody's fallen.
Never happened to me.
Everybody's fallen asleep in the middle of action. You have totally done that.
No way.
You just don't remember because you fell asleep.
No.
I can't believe you're going to be sitting here.
I rested
and just
my
lie.
eyes once, but that's it. Just for a second.
I mean, that's really a humbling experience. There was a girl that I was seeing in Seattle, and I used to be so tired from the radio show. Like in the middle of making out with her on our first date that we like actually had, like we went out on like a real date instead of just like talking, you know, like people do over Tinder and stuff. Our first date where I was on the couch with her, I mean, there was no action on it because in the middle of like making out with her, I just checked out. It was like time for me to go to sleep, like narcolepsy. And I just always remember thinking like, how awful is that for her self-esteem? Because you just think like if someone falls asleep in the middle of hanging out with you in any way, shape or form, you're not an interesting person.
No. You're not a bad kisser, babe. You're just a boring
You're boring.
kisser.
Yeah, and also you weren't even entertaining enough to keep me awake.
Say something crazy.
Yeah, just do something
Say
weird.
something crazy that wakes me up.
She goes, I thought you were kidding. And I was like,
you wanna have
nope,
a knife?
I was definitely asleep the whole time. And so I have a bad habit of just like, I just get so tired and then I'll just fall asleep. And then a couple times, I know once it was like 8 o'clock at night, and there's this girl that I had been texting with for a couple weeks. We had never hung out, and she was like, hey, I'm in Seattle. Let's go get a drink. And I was like, sounds good. And she's like, where do you live? And I'm like, I lived in Pioneer Square, super sketchy area. And she's like, okay, when I get off work, I'll come down and we'll hang out. And she lived like an hour away. And so she's like, yeah. And I was like texting with her. I'm like, yeah, do it. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, man, I feel like there was something I was supposed to do yesterday. And I was like, oh my God. That girl that I was texting with who was coming over, and we were going to go out and play pool or something down the street. And I look at my phone, and I've got a bunch of text messages from her. I've got a bunch of voicemails from her. Basically, she was standing out in front of my apartment in Pioneer Square, and I lived in a really shady corner. Like, I was like in a cool neighborhood, but like I was on the shadier side of the street. And she was just standing out there, this like attractive girl by herself, standing out there for like an hour trying to get a hold of me, like buzzing me, and I was just out.
Prince Charming, ladies
So we
and
never
gentlemen.
hung out again. Basically, how that
Yeah,
went.
she actually disappeared that night.
The one in Hollywood, the time it happened in Hollywood was even funnier. It was a girl that I was hanging out with, and she lived in Santa Monica, which is like a good 35 minutes away from West Hollywood. And we were both at bars previous to that, and she's like, hey, I want to come over. And I was like, sounds good to me. Come on over. And I woke up the next morning with the front door of my apartment in West Hollywood wide open, which is dangerous because I had the naked Russians next door which we'll talk about on another episode someday. The naked Russians across from
We
my
talked
apartment.
about it on our old podcast.
Yeah, but you have to hear
Tons of good
the
stuff.
epic adventures of the naked Russians across my hallway. They were like 85-year-old Russians who were always naked.
The genderless naked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get into that because at one point in time I saw the guy naked and he looked like he was missing all of his junk. Whatever. We'll get into that down the road. So I fell asleep with that door wide open. And then the next morning, like I called her and I was like, oh my God, I'm super sorry. I just I'd had a little bit to drink and I just totally passed out on my couch. And she's like, I was sitting out in the street in an Uber X for like 30 minutes. And I was like, well, the front door was wide open. You could have just come in here and killed me or woken me up or whatever you felt like doing because I was very vulnerable with the door wide open. I remember hearing birds chirping and I was like, that's super loud today. Did I leave a window door wide open? She said her Uber came out to like $140. What? Uber XL all the way. It was surging all the way from Santa Monica to West Hollywood, and then she sat there for 35 minutes.
See, that's
and then she went
though.
back.
That's stupid. And who waits 35 minutes for you? Come on.
I mean, no, you shouldn't wait 35
sheet
minutes.
walls.
You shouldn't wait 35 minutes for anybody.
No,
for
especially
anybody.
not sheet walls. Come on.
I mean,
Come
just
on,
regardless,
girl. What's wrong with you?
Just anybody in the world because
Don't be
there's no way
silly.
there's no way there's still like you're still hanging out.
I mean, and you get out, you cancel that ride, and then you periodically check back to see. It's not like your neighborhood was that bad. It's West Hollywood.
No. But you could.
I'm in
there
no
were some
danger
murders there, though. Murders and just weirdos. There's
murders
There's a
everywhere.
weird guy that was setting fires all over the place at the time, like in dumpsters and
that
stuff
guy,
like that.
That guy was just cold, and that's not his fault.
That guy was just cold. That's what you think?
Yeah. Or maybe he had a cold, so he took some cold pills and started feeling all loopy and then started burning stuff.
I didn't know that song just dropped an F word right out the gates.
You keep doing that. Really? Of course. There's going to be another one in like any time.
What?
There's going to be another swear word.
Let me just do the instrumental. Instrumental then, huh? How about that?
Yeah, why not? We don't need his words. We need our words. That's what they need. That's what they're listening for. Not for who was that? Migos? Chingy?
Migos. But I want to
Tupac?
go with something different.
That was Migos? Oh,
No, let's see. Let's see. Here we go.
All right. Ooh, the
Oh, I like it.
The bass is bumping.
All right. Sorry, guys. I ran out of energy for Facebook Live. But tweet at me if you think we should bring it back or if it was just a waste of time last week. Because we had to cut out most of the stuff because most of the questions that I answered were like questions about things I'm not supposed to talk
Brian
about.
got too real.
I got too real, y'all.
I know.
Too real.
No, I didn't care for the Facebook Live, but it was also because I was just sitting here watching you Facebook Live, which is pretty much what I do all day anyways.
Good
so I
point.
don't need to do it on a podcast.
So thank you for listening to the Moote Points podcast. We will have another episode up in just a few days. We've been pretty good about it so far, about getting one up every once in a while. I mean, we have no reason not to.
Pretty good about one every once in a while.
Well, that's not bad, man.
No, it's better than the 0 we did for like 3 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. You can find the podcast same time, same place. I believe this is the first episode that will be on the Burt Show app, which, I don't know, is cool, I guess.
It's dope, dude.
It's dope. It's dope.
It's dope, man.
It's what?
Dope, man. Yeah, that was good.
You like that?
I could tell you were setting me up for that, but
production.
I was on board fully.
All right. Find us next week. Y'all are the best.
Let's consider the secret life of the innermost nesting doll. Living most of her life in the dark, inside the other nesting dolls, she has plenty of time to think, if she could. Sadly, she has no brain. However, when an innermost nesting doll hears that Geico not only saves people money, but also has been providing great service for over 75 years, she thinks it's obvious you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Pity the innermost nesting doll and her lot in life.